What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another Dota 2 cast. This is Defense 3, and we are ready to unpause in 3, 2, 1. And this is Game 2 of Empire vs. Navi. If you have not seen the first game, I recommend you check it out either on my channel, of course, youtube.com/joindota, where you can find all the VODs of this tournament. But this is the losers bracket quarterfinals with two of the most anticipated teams in the matchup, and Empire finding themselves in a significant deficit off the bat, one game away from elimination.
Yeah, and nobody expected Empire to be in this position. They're really freaking good. They just kind of annihilate everybody they play, except for Navi last game. So, if you missed it, I'm going to do a little bit of a spoiler right here. I don't think that Empire played as well as they normally do last game. And we're going to see if they're actually able to pick it up and play to the standards which most people expect out of them, or if they're going to be, just a little bit rough around the edges this game. And in terms of bans, this is like the super standard bans. Navi bans Batrider. Navi doesn't actually value Batrider that highly as a hero. They never played him in Dota 1, even when he was like first pick, first ban. And so even though they have first pick, they'll ban him out anyway. And they ban out the Wisp, which they don't really value that high themselves either. And in the meantime, Empire's going to get rid of Nyx and Darkseer. Kind of makes sense that they get rid of Darkseer because Navi kind of wrecked them with it last game. And they'll take the Keeper of the Light. What do you think of this?
Well, Keeper is just such a strong support, can just work so well with any lineups, just works well with any carry, allows him to turtle, can farm any lane, of course, and then just recall him back to a team fight saying, "What's up, I have a mini Spectre on my side," or a mini Morphling can just recall you back to any engagement. Always has enough farm with that Illuminate, has access into that mechanism, has access into the late game Hex. Pretty much you can't go wrong when you're picking up Keeper in any situation. But I feel like this is just sort of a little bit of weird there. You got to actually check the stats on DotaAcademy.com, Dota-Academy.com. Shout out to Bruno. But I feel like Empire is one of those teams that really benefits from the first pick because they have so many strong first tier heroes, whether it be Wisp, Keeper of the Light, Darkseer. What do you think?
I actually don't know if I have any thoughts on this because right now I feel this patch is I don't really feel as if first or second pick is an advantage in this patch, and other patches I've had very strong opinions on it, but if Empire does much better with the first pick than the second pick, I would actually have to give that some serious thought before I commented on it because it's the first pick and second pick is such a complex thing with how you approach it that it's very hard for me to just say off the top of my head like, oh, it's because they can pick up this hero and then you can't counter it with those two heroes. So I don't know. But we're going to see an Undying and Queen of Pain immediately picked up as a response to Keep the Light. The Undying is picked up because you don't want to give an Undying Keeper of the Light tri-lane because that's such a strong tri-lane that you can actually just start cutting the creep wave if you aggressively tri-lane, which you will with those heroes. You just cut the creep wave and the tower's gone. Your carry has no farm. They're going to take Queen of Pain for Dendi. I think this may be because they
Looks like my connection is going fuzzy yet again, so I will pause, be right back.
it's a really good answer to that.
Oh, my connection was a bit fuzzy, so just care to sum up that last point in brief?
I think they picked up Queen of Pain because Empire likes Magnus, and Queen of Pain's a really good answer to Magnus.
And I'm probably going to pick up the Magnus as well as Lifestealer. So going to get pretty tanky early on with the Magnus and the Lifestealer combination. Of course, Magnus, if there's no Darks in the picture, is pretty much king of teamfight. Queen of Pain, very versatile, and Empire did actually prove in the last game that their puck was not really the best in that situation. Maybe just an off game for Scandal, but Empire not coming to a puck just yet. So we'll see how they match up against Queen of Pain. Could be Magnus in the offlane, and maybe they'll do something like a TA, who does actually do pretty well against Queen of Pain.
I think that's unlikely that they would pick up a TA just because TA doesn't like Undying. The zombies just kind of wreck you completely. Like, obviously, zombies are really good against everybody, but against TA, it's like you're struggling and you're like, let me get to people to hit you, and then your refraction's gone and then you die. So I'd actually be surprised if they didn't run a Magnus mid.
Yeah, we'll still wait and see, as Nami going to take a significant amount of time, as they already have one component of their tri-lane, have one of their mid lane heroes, so have a lot of options to open up, but we'll see if they pick up their carry for Vost right here. Otherwise, Empire will start banning carries because Empire know that Vost, one of Havost's favorite heroes is that Lifestealer, so that might actually cripple Havost quite a bit.
Yeah, if this was American Dota, I would call out a Weaver pick right now, but they're actually going to go for Rubik, and this is interesting because Rubik is pretty good against Keeper. You steal the blast yourself, which is obviously a really freaking good spell, and if you if you get a Force Staff or Dagger on Rubik, it is possible to steal Reverse Polarity if you got those fighting game reactions. So this will be a support Rubik. We're going to see a Rubik and Undying, so two components of the tri-lane are picked out. And we're probably going to see Empire just go through offlaners and carries, and just ban them all out.
One thing that I do have to sort of take issue with Navi's lineup is that, as usual, they're all extremely experience or dependent, and usually we see Dendi play that Rubik, but Dendi going to play Queen of Pain in this game, and of course we're not going to have as quick of an access into that Force Staff or a Dagger. So Empire, considering that Lifesteal is such a strong early game carry, does pretty much counter Undying, and pretty much beats up on Rubik as well, doesn't really care about Quap. There's really no clear matchup against the Lifesteal that could really favor Navi right now.
Um, yeah, I would say if you do a Weaver tri-lane, again, this is, you have to understand I'm coming from a North American Dota perspective where that's just what you do against Lifestealer, but this is Russian Dota, and they really don't pick Weaver at all, even to deal with a Lifestealer. So we're seeing the bans of, Gyro Luna, which is super standard. We might see a no, I was thinking we would see a tiny ban, but that doesn't make any sense. And I'm actually not certain what they're going to ban. Perhaps a Bounty Hunter. And I know Bounty Hunter's really faded out with like the advent of 5-man Dota, but Bounty Hunter's actually pretty decent against some of their heroes, and it's actually going to be PL. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, PL pretty much destroys Lifestealer, eats him for breakfast, and considering Navi does have that strong early game lineup, PL might have a difficult time in terms of farming up, but most likely just doesn't want to deal with PL in general, because PL, of course, one of the most annoying carries in the game to deal with. As we'll see what Navi decides to ban out. Have banned out Puck, so don't want to have that matchup in the middle lane against Queen of Pain. Ban out the Lone Druid as well, so if somebody gets rooted, they won't have anybody to blame right now. And we'll see what they decide to go for here. Maybe another mid-solo ban, not too sure.
I'd be surprised if they used another mid-solo ban. I think the Puck was just because you can put Puck in the safe lane farming, while or Magnus in the safe lane farming, while you actually go about doing your other matchups. But I don't think that they'll ban a mid hero. I think that that would be just a waste of a ban, because you really do know that when Empire drafts Magnus, it's gonna be a mid Magnus. It's just what they do.
Yeah, Scandal definitely has one of the most impressive Magnuses in the business. As Navi gonna bat the Weaver
Oh, they did.
themselves.
Oh,
Interesting.
that's odd. They have a Rubik and they're against a Lifestealer.
That is
That's all.
interesting.
That's straight up weird. And you know what that tells me? It tells me that they know exactly what they're doing for their next picks, and Weaver's really good against it. Normally when you see a ban that just doesn't make sense like that, it means it's when you start thinking about why did they ban that? That doesn't make sense. What are they protecting with that ban? Right now, I don't know. I don't know why they did that. So we'll see. It'll probably be a surprise fifth pick. Although sometimes what you want to do is when you have like a ban protecting a weird hero like that, you pick it up fourth, and then all of a sudden it messes up the entire team's enemy lineup. They're like, oh my god.
And actually, Empire have been known to actually use Weaver in their tri lanes, whether it be Keeper Light or just in Tron versus
Solo.
Tron in
And
general.
we're gonna see. Yeah, this is some old school stuff.
Yep, Nature's Prophet. And I was just going to say that Weaver actually fits pretty well with Empire's lineup. Empire actually have been known to pick up Weaver quite a bit. As Navi going to say, alright, we're going to choose the Clinks ourselves. As they have an Orchid, not too much AoE on their side just yet. Well, actually, they have a reasonable amount of AoE. But Clinks, if he does get pressured early on, won't have the best of time as we saw in the last game. But does do pretty well against Keeper the Light. Of course, Orchid, if he sounds his Lifesteal before the rage, Lifesteal will just die. And Empire going to respond with one of their trademark supports in the form of Bane. And Bane actually pretty solid in this game. Reduces damage, disables a hero right out of the battle. It's going to be pretty deadly to deal with.
Yeah, the only issue I see with the Bane pick, obviously it's great against Queen of Pain, is that it's gonna get stolen by Rubik. And I think this might be one of the reasons why Navi picked Rubik, knowing that Empire favor Bane so much. I think Clinks might be offlane solo against Lycan. Okay.
And
I don't know what's going on.
I am a firm believer that Lycan's underrated, but you actually explained to me that it's actually pretty much very difficult to lane him. And laning, of course, if you have a difficult time laning as a carry, it's going to be very difficult in general. But I feel like Lycan's a bit underrated. And Puppy, of course, does have a love affair with this hero. The question is, how fast can he actually farm? Because I'm sure Puppy will find the maximum jungling paths. But even with maximum jungling capacity, it's really difficult to get level 6 on Lycan before the 7-minute mark. In fact, it's pretty much impossible.
You can't do it. There is a way, and I spent a really long time trying to do this when he first got changed. Your item if you do it perfectly and you're ferried regen and you get a good jungle, your Vlad's and metal is 2 minutes behind when it would be. But here's the issue. The real issue with the Wolf's nerf is that if your jungle is messed with, normally when you mess with Lycan's jungle, he laughs it off and says, whatever, you slowed me down by 30 seconds. Now if you mess with this jungle, he goes, oh, you slowed me down by 5 minutes. And with Empire possibly doing an aggressive tri-lane, his jungle will be messed with. And I don't know how this is going to work. I don't understand.
I guess they sort of are theorizing, alright, maybe if Kyle's in not the right position, we can split push with the Clinks and Lycan in the mid to late game. But the problem with Lycan is not the mid to late game, it's the early game, like you mentioned earlier, as his jungle will be shut down pretty hard. And this is a pretty high risk lineup by Navi. They're saying, okay, we have a game to experiment, but really giving a game to experiment with Lycan, I'm not too sure if it's the best idea against an opponent as high caliber as Empire.
Well, we all know how Puppy's experiments work out. They're either A++ or
Well, Puppy
they
did have
don't
the right
work at
read
all.
on it with the Nyx Assassin in TI2, but unfortunately didn't execute
Yeah.
it well.
Yeah, he just didn't play well at all. I mean, like, yeah, if you're remembering the game, it was when in the TI2 they just tried to have Dendy stealing Ravage, and with Nyx Assassin, he was going to try to spike Carapace to Ravage and then have Dendy steal it, but he just didn't do it well, and he didn't tri lane well, and it was crappy. Anyway, I was really excited to see Nyx because at the time it was one of my favorite heroes because nobody played it, and then everybody started playing it, and I was like, oh, this hero is
Dude,
S
we're
tier.
such
I can
Dota
play it.
hipsters. We're
I
such
know,
Dota
I
hipsters. It's
know.
like,
Batrider was
I'm
my favorite hero
dying.
for so long, and then he got started getting played, and I was like, oh, I guess he has to be my second favorite hero now.
And also I'm
But yeah.
dying. It's just,
Yup. Yeah, I know, I know. I remember when I first met you and started playing some pub games with you. You played Undying. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then he started getting like first pick, first ban. It was fun.
yep. So meanwhile, we introduce the players and teams as we reminisce about the old days of 6 months ago. It's going to be Golblack playing that Keep It Light. It's going to be SS playing the Bane. Scandal playing his mid lane, Magnus Boy Rain playing Leicester, and Fun is playing Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, and on Navi, we're going to have the drafter and captain. Puppy playing the Lycanthrope. This is a throwback to a couple of years ago. We're going to have Clinks played by Havos. We're going to have Dendy, I'm assuming, yep, playing the Queen of Pain. On the Undying, we're going to have ars-art. And finally, this will be Light of Heaven on Rubik. And Rubik had, okay, I'm going to talk about some items because this is whack. Light of Heaven plays the offlaner, as pretty much everybody who watches Navi knows. He has boots first, and this looks like an offlane Rubik with those boots first. But even if he goes offlane, it doesn't even matter because the boots aren't gonna help him against sleep. Like if he just gets slept, he'll die. So I'm kind of confused about that. And Puppy's items include two Ironwood branches on Lycanthrope,
And
which looks like a
sentries.
mech. Well, the sentries kind of make sense for
Yeah, but I mean, Lycan needs so many items. I
Lycan
mean,
needs to be, if you want to jungle fast, you got to be pulled regen. And the sentries are kind of weird. And the double branch, when you see a jungler starting with double branches, like 99% of the time, it means mech. So I don't know what's, and they don't really have an, well, I don't know.
Lycan can't really sustain a mech though, unless he gets
No,
like a Soul Ring or something
this is
crazy.
weird. I'm just gonna see how this plays out and stop saying it's weird because right now I have no understanding of what's going to happen.
No, I've just been dabbling in Lycan very, very heavily because I really like the hero. And
Scumbag.
no, Lycan's mad cool. You know, runs around at fast move speed, split pushes, don't really have to play with their team. And you know
Yeah.
when I don't want to play with my team but still have an impact, if I don't want to pick Dusa, where you don't have impact at all during the game, at least Lycan you can split push. But Lycan desperately needs all of the items he can possibly get if he wants to solo jungle, so it's going to be a lot of pulling and just rarely, really early on pushing. Otherwise, this Lycan build just won't work out. He's not going to solo jungle at all. Might dual jungle, but really, I mean, Lycan does need experience as well.
Yeah, you need to get up to level 5 to start actually being able to tear through the jungle. And I've been thinking as we were talking, and I think he might go for a Necro Book for the sole purpose. Obviously, a split pushing Lycan isn't as strong as it once was just because it takes a longer time to get the Necro up, but he might get a Necro Book to try to mana burn the Nakes, maybe? And if, because Nakes without mana is useless. But I don't know if that'll even work because they have a Coddle. So, again, I'm just, I'm throwing darts at the dartboard right here. I'm trying to figure out why he did this.
Well, Navi definitely taking something new out of the playbook, saying, alright, we seem to have Empire's number, at least in these LAN tournaments. Not in the online tournaments, but we beat them in game one, relatively convincingly. If their mistakes in the late game are discounted. So they're just going to take a bit of experimentation, see how this lineup plays out. But still, Empire, they have nothing to lose with this lineup, and if they win this game, it'll be 1-1 yet again. And Navi definitely don't want to bow out the defense 3 this early on.
No. Did Navi win the defense too?
No, Complexity won it.
Complexity. Oh wow, that was a while ago. Okay, yeah. No, I remember now. Yep. That was back when Complexity was pretty good.
Yeah. Complexity was always pretty good. They were just,
Yeah.
not many tournaments, but now there's like a tournament every other day. As Problem by Toby. Shout out to Toby. As usual, if you want a different VOD, you can check out youtube.com/joindota, twitch.tv/Toby1Dota, yada yada yada. As usual, tournament tickets, something something.
As usual, there are other alternatives. So if you don't want to hear me ramble, Toby is your best alternative. And yeah.
I mean, what more can we say? Weird by Navi, standard by Empire.
Yeah, I think well, I think I touched on this. I thought that they were going to lane the Clinks against the Furion, which is it can go either way. It really depends. To be honest, I haven't done this lane myself, but from what I've heard of my friends who run offlaners, they actually prefer it from the Furion's perspective because you can harass them out of lane with the trees. So while you would think it would be in Clinks' favor, it's actually in Furion's, I think.
Well, I mean, Clinks, he's just so squishy, so the trees actually hurt him quite a bit. And
Yeah.
the trees are tank enough that they can actually survive, 2 to 3 searing arrow shots. So I imagine it is in Furion's favor, at least until Clinks gets to level 6, but by that time, Clinks should just be bullied out of the lane constantly, so I can sort of see where it's in Furion's favor for the most part. Of course, the problem is if Furion gets ganked, he's dead, and if Clinks gets ganked, he can run away. But
Yeah, and
that assumes
also
there's ganks.
Furion's going to be out of the lane a lot of the time, trying to go, camp runes for his mid hero or TP to kill top lane. So we'll see.
Yep, as any update is the call. So considering that Navi's not coming, so looks like
Okay, cool. Oh, and reconnected. Good.
good stuff. And just to make sure, while we're still synced, when it's still paused up, 53, 54, 55, 56.
Yep, I'm exactly where you are. And of course, when we're paused and it doesn't matter, we're synced. And when there's a team fight going on, you're like, hey, Shred Kid, you're like 8 seconds ahead. Nothing you said makes any sense.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
We're just, pretend we're casting with the crazy person. As Empire gonna scout the Roshan, saying, alright, you have a Lycan. There's potential. But I imagine Empire would actually have a better time Roshaning. But still,
Yeah, those wolves die in like 2 hits.
yeah, pretty much. Might even die in 1 hit to Roshan. Yeah, 2 hits, 65 damage. As Navi gonna get to the lanes, and it is gonna be the offlaner Rubik. Light of Heaven. Light of Heaven, probably the best overall Western Dota player Dota's ever seen. But this is pretty weird for him.
Yeah.
I mean, just in terms of consistency, like if you looked at his accomplishments in Dota 1.
He's easily the most.
I
I would
talking
say
about Western,
G.
of course.
Yeah, I was actually going to say G, I think, is a better player, but Light of Heaven's obviously more flexible, and he's obviously had better achievements over time. But yeah, as much as I fanboy Empire and Scandal and Phonic and stuff, G is my favorite player ever. So anyway, it looks like we're going to have an aggressive trialing coming up from Empire. Hands up if you're surprised. Scandal's going to be mid, and we're going to see the Furion safe lane. So,
And about that offlane Rubik, it's actually not going to happen. It's going to be Puppy soloing bot lane. So
he's going to get pushed out of lane so fast.
at least he can get some experience in farm, but he doesn't even have a Quelling Blade.
No, he won't. He's going to get pushed out of lane in like 30 seconds. Look, he can't even.
This is
Oh, this is whack. Look at his skill. Look at his skill build. I understand now.
Howl at level 1 to give him a trialing advantage.
Yeah, no, it's for the Clinks. It's so that the Clinks can just unload on people and kill people. I want to see if this works, or if it fails terribly, because he's not going to get anything in lane. So it's basically saying let's feed Clinks kills against the Nakes.
Right now, Puppy's still level 1, meanwhile, Phonic is just having a field day level 2, and it's not like Howl has such a long cooldown and pretty negligible impact level 1. 15 damage is pretty good, but,
He's
50
firing
second
himself
cooldown.
a self already. That's, ugh.
I mean, if he started out with the Quelling Blade, I don't know why he started out with Sentry Wards. This is just, I guess Navi just trying to create with things as usual. But Empire going to do some creep pull. Is there really anything Navi can do to stop it? They're just pulling themselves. So the challenge is trying at this point, pretty passive for the most part. But overall in engagement, usually you favor the Undying, but Cuberla is just so good with the help of Bane. I think I might have to give it to Empire in this situation.
Empire's trialing is much stronger. Sleep into Blast into Nakes is somebody dies. It's much stronger. And Dendi should win mid. This is a really easy matchup, like a really easy matchup for Queen of Pain. And bot lane's going to be slammed by Phonic. Puppy's going to have to leave this lane. Oh, and this is weird. Yeah, he got Feral Impulse. I don't even know. I don't know what Puppy's doing.
Well, now
He's
you
going
got
to use
wolves.
Howl. And for no reason.
Saying don't just need experience, don't need farm. Just gonna constantly ship myself random stuff as I don't imagine Courier will be in use for the most part on the top lane. So Magnus gonna pick up the rune on the bottom. I was gonna say you can bottle curl pretty much exclusively and just shockwave down the middle lane to at least get even farm. And Deadly for once not roaming as aggressively, saying, alright, we're just gonna match up in the trial, but might end up haunting him as Vost is gonna die to the Centroid placement. Meanwhile, Magnus does pick up a kill on Puppy with the help of the haster and didn't see actually any of those kills happen. Just saw the aftermath, but I imagine the top lane engage and sleep into blast into death.
Yep, that was it. It's really brain dead. It's really easy. If you have a Shadow Demon or Bane and a Keeper of the Light, you just can't ever push up if you're an enemy support. And in this case, I think it was Havos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Sentry Ward was used, but still very much worth it for Empire. Meanwhile, Dendi actually getting harassed a bit, got skewered into tower range, and Scandal performing magnificently on the Magnetart thus far. And so far, Funnick 16-6 CS compared to Puppy's astounding 6-0. And these trees just going to work on Puppy.
Puppy should go to the jungle.
I mean, he doesn't have items. How can he jungle with no items?
Well, he should get level 4. He can sustain himself to level 4, and then he should go to the jungle. But either way, he's going to get pushed out of lane right now. This is going to be such a freaking fast Midas.
And actually, Sprout is in the picture, but Puppy just does tangle out. But there goes the last of your tangles. Only has itself in the picture for now. And right now, Dendi is going to get that ball courier up. It's going to be pretty much up to Dendi to single-handedly spearhead Navi's recovery in this game.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to play a Queen of Pain against a Bane Elemental, because you're just going to get slept like when you dive in on people. And meanwhile, sleep coming out on Havos in the meantime. Will Blast be charged? No, it won't. Havos is going to get gone on by Blow Your Brain. Tombstone is dropped. SS thrown into the air. We're going to see nobody's gone down quite yet. There's going to be a heal coming out. Havos is at 1 hit, but in the meantime, SS will fall. ars-art's on pretty low health, but he'll back up. Light of Heaven is just harassing Blow Your Brain. ars-art's backing up. Dendi's in the mix. He's going on Goblak. He will get Goblak with, I think, the extra Howl damage, and he's going to blink away. Furion bouncing through, but it won't finish off Dendi. It's not quite enough.
Actually, a bit of mistime for Empire for once, considering they've practiced so much with Bane. Blow Your Brain actually hit the sleeping target and was slept for a lot of that duration. So that was pretty significant by Blow Your Brain. Well, pretty surprising considering how much Empire used Bane.
Yeah, you don't normally see misplays like that.
But Puppy is just going to get harassed out of lane completely. It is almost level 5, so now he does have the option to jungle even without too much regen. But right now, Furion is just free farming it up. Already level 6, like you said. Going to be very close to level 7. Probably going to pick up a Midas, I imagine. Might even go a bit more aggressive. I'm not too sure. Funnick, very aggressive player in general. So far, it is 2-2. This Tron making a bit of recovery due to the help of the Undying and due to some Empire mishaps. But still, Dendi being actually pressured out of lane. And we'll have that ball crow up to him very, very soon. But that means rune control in the hands of Scandal as he's going to wrap around, going to get spotted out by the tower, trying to pick off the courier. Dendi is going to find Scandal in the woods, reverse, not being casted, as meanwhile looks like Light of Heaven being driven back beyond the trees, and nothing's going out for Navi right now, aside from Dendi.
Yeah, Dendi's the only one who's got really anything going on. Light of Heaven, they're really looking for him, and Blow Your Brain decides that he will dive, and I can't imagine Light of Heaven living. He has no TP, and I don't think there's going to be TP support for him, so yep, he will. Oh, wow, that's a really good throw. Picks him up, he throws him away, but the blast will come through, it will hit, and Blow Your Brain's going to get the last hit. Puppy tries to block with the wolves, but he's just going to feed him.
Pretty much 36 gold going to the pockets of Blow Your Brain, saying, thank you, please coming in. Actually picking up Tranquil Boots instead of those Phase Boots, giving him better regen. Maybe we'll disassemble them later on, but Tranquil Boots just too good at the moment. Free regen, free mana by Coddle, pretty much has everything a lifesteal could ever want in life. As Scandal just going to continue farming on the middle lane. Where is Dendi? He was trying to pick up the rune, not going to have that, as he is just going to continue to ball crow it up. And every time he does this, we'll have access in the bottle and we'll prevent his ganks for a little bit, so this is actually very unfortunate luck for Dendi.
Yeah, and Scandal's going to TP gang top, I think. And yup, Puppy has moved to the jungle. And he has farmed an amazing 380 gold so far. Holy crap. This is not...
ZSMJ farm.
Yeah, no, it's not. Bot lane.
On the bottom lane, Havos is going to get initiated on by Scandal with the haster. Man, second haster already for Scandal, picking up 2 kills. and did use reverse for that, but well worth it, keeping Hibos down and keeping Funnick pretty much free farming it up completely. We'll have that minus up at a respectable 7 minutes into the game. And meanwhile, ars-art, trial and undying, usually pretty good, but this isn't a trialing, this is just undying, soloing, trying to sap at whatever experiences he can, as it pretty much appears like Navi lost every lane. Except for mid, maybe.
Dandy did okay, but he only has 30 creeps against Magnus, which is not that good at 7 minutes.
Especially Magnus is ganked twice.
A lot more.
2 kills.
Yeah. Actually, he's on par with Magnus, and we're going to see again coming bottom. They're going to try to take out Phonic. Light of Heaven is coming in. He's going to lift him up, zap him. This should be his zap.
No, gonna get fogged as Phonic able to escape. Meanwhile, on the middle lane, looks like Undying didn't manage to pick off Magnus, but only after Dendi died. And the top tower is going to get pushed, so Empire going to pick up a free tower for the Lifestealer very, very soon, as they're waiting for the creep to do the maximum amount of damage before Blow Your Brain commits to that last hit. And what's being ferried to Blow Your Brain, it is going to be that Midas and another set of Tranquil Boots. So Blow Your Brain just going to continue his farm. And double Midas on the side of Empire. Experience advantage is just going to go up and up as Vost being pressured back. Furion is just such a high level that it doesn't even matter.
Ganked again.
But meanwhile, Phonic is in a bit of trouble. Dendi is going to initiate onto him. Here comes the trees, but here comes the Talon. He's going to pick up a kill, but Scandal going to skewer into everybody, trying to pick up a kill on Dendi in return. But Scandal easily able to escape, or Dendi able to escape, and Scandal going to be on the run. Should be able to escape just fine. So now you're picking up a kill on Furion, but Furion is the least of their worries at the moment.
Top lane. Oh no, Sleep's on cooldown. I was going to point out something. You see the sentry ward placed up by the secret, or the side shop at bottom lane?
Mm-hmm.
What they did, and this is really clever.
Oh, top lane. Looks like SS is going to sleep Puppey. Tombstone was dropped, and nice transference by ars-art, allowing Puppey to go back in with that wolf form. Able to pick off Bane, so nice management by Navi, as Blow Your Brain will just stand, fight like a man, or like a ghoul, or whatever he is, as it's going to be a 1-0. Navi actually getting back into the game on the back of their ganks. Just as I say that, it looks like Clinks manages to die yet again. And just checking out Clinks' farm, 30 CS, but still going to be a 20-minute Orchid at best.
Yeah, unless he's able to get, sit in the lane and get complete free farm, he might get it up at like 17, 18, but that won't happen. They will pressure him, like, make no mistake. And nobody knows, what Clinks will do if he's untouched better than Empire. Oh yeah, but what I was going to say is that Sentry Ward that I pointed out, they put that in the middle of the Furion tree so that they could try to kill him. And it was just a little bit too late, but that's a really sneaky move that I like.
As there is going to be a teleport. No, just an attempt at a teleport. Light of Heaven is going to escape Mew on the top lane. A mass amount of teleports in. Puppey going to take a lot of damage. SS is going to pay for it with his life, as Empire playing super aggressive at the moment. Lifestealer actually getting Infest Creep to escape the wrath of Dendi. Gonna rage TP out, saying, what are you going to do about this? The answer is nothing. The power of Lifestealer does live on, and all the while the bottom tower is being pressured. So Navi, despite getting 1 kill, gonna lose some more map control. It's gonna be 2 towers unknown very, very soon.
Absolutely. And I think, normally I really, really strongly dislike Aghanims on Prophet, but I think this game, because Nyx doesn't need that many items anyway, and you already have, mid lane, Goblik's going to get gone on, he's going to get Blink, there's going to be the Wolves harassing him a lot, he's going to blinding light them away, but they will actually get the last hit, Dendi will actually, Scandal's going to come in, great RP, catching 2 people, ars-art goes down immediately, Dendi's going to blink away, so only 1 kill coming out from that, but it's definitely going to be a good revenge kill, and it looks like they're going to try to push mid with this Tombstone getting killed in the meantime. But yeah, they don't need to build a mech on Prophet because they can build it on the Keeper of the Light. And if he gets to split push Aghanims, Navi will have 0 control over their lanes. So I would really like to see that on them.
Puppey is invisible, trying to pick off Phonic as Dendi is going to initiate. Here comes Wolves, as was the ultimate being popped by Puppey, as Dendi is going to pay for it with his life. Nightmare was actually used by Puppey, and will Phonic actually be able to escape? No, he is going to die, but that does cost Puppey a lot of time in his wolf form. He will be able to escape easily, but it is going to be 1-for-1 yet again, as Puppey able to do some damage with these kills, 2-1 and 2 thus far, but it always seems to come at a cost.
Yeah, he's farmed a medallion, an 11-minute medallion. Normally you want an 11-minute medallion Vlads with the new Lycanthrope, and that's if you're not touched in your jungle. That's not anywhere close to happening. And in the meantime, Blow Your Brain has, at 11 minutes, he has Midas and 2k gold in the bank, along with some Tranquil Boots. So he's got a gazillion farm. That appears to be my nomenclature that I call a lot of things, a gazillion. But he actually does this game. Literally a gazillion.
Literally a gazillion. This is top tier analysis brought to you by DoComputers.com. As Meow Light of Heaven is just going to be relegated to getting some wards. He is actually performing reasonably well, level 6, and decent amount of gold to his name, but still unable to make too much happen. As Lowell's trying to snap off the courier, but the grass trail gonna allow the courier to dance away. As Lowell's gonna be blocked for a bit. Will Lowell's actually pick off the courier? This is gonna be... Oh my god, poor courier. All he wanted to do was spread happiness and joy and grass everywhere. And these wolves, what a bitch.
They ruined everything. That's actually a really good play coming out from Puppy, though. Yeah, I can't even mention how big that is to get that gold to help get them back in the game.
Well, I mean, they do have a Fear Hands who can sort of just teleport and bring them items if worst comes to worst, but of course that's never really something you want to do.
I wanted to point out, ars-art's level 8, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Like, that's so much. I think it's because there kept being trades, and he kept being around for the end of them, so he just got a lot of solo kill experience.
Yeah, and Lifesteal will have to rage up and kill that Tombstone, but really, that is going to delay a lot of the rage timer. And Tombstone level 4 is pretty significant, a lot of HP, a very, very long duration, definitely can't be underestimated in these engagements, but was definitely won't be underestimated is constantly bursting down damage. Here comes the Wolves to do a bit of harassment on Golblack, will drive Golblack back, but these Wolves will die in a couple hits. Shockwave doing reduced damage because that 50% spell resistance, and actually Wolves are forced to retreat, spying on SS all the while, who does have some dust. And meanwhile, Puppy gonna push that bottom lane, gonna finally pick up some boots. No, just gonna pick up a TP scroll as DD is the call. Or happy face, happy face. I'm not too sure what Elvos is so happy about.
I'm not either. I was watching him, and I'm not sure what happened at all, to be honest.
Oh, 13-minute armlet, Tranquil's Midas. Maybe that's why he's so happy.
No joke. Well, that's a lot of farm. But we see Puppy going for a
Lifesteal, Nake's Bomb incoming, infesting Funnick. Havost, dusted, open wounds. No, Nake's Bomb as it actually didn't do damage, but Blurbrain is going to commit to this. Won't actually be able to escape. Light of Heaven might just face the wrath of Blurbrain. Looks like Blurbrain unable to pick up any targets, but pretty much that was a free gank and driving people back. As
Force 3 TPs, yeah.
Does have that Necrobook level 1 at 14 minutes of the game. Necrobook level 1, not the strongest, but at 14 minutes game, it's pretty strong as SS is going to take a bunch of damage in the jungle, does get the Raven Sap off of him to Rubik. Here comes the Tombstone being dropped, Blurbrain trying to kill off the Tombstone. Havos is going to get Fiend's Gripped as Blurbrain is going to be the only one in this engagement because SS did manage to die, and Blurbrain's going to die as well. Here comes Funnick on the attack, but he's going to be driven off as well, as Empire just diving in aggressively, one after another. And will they end up paying for this? Will lose Funnick yet again? Can they actually get to him? They will. But here comes the RP by Scandal. Blinding Light, or Blast coming in. Scandal will be able to teleport out as looks like Empire trying to not lose any more casualties to this very crazy series of events.
Yeah, the only way that I would be able to describe that engage would be jokes. And Dendy's actually going to pick up Godblack in the meantime. Light of Heaven slept. Undying goes down. And it looks like Light of Heaven might fall. SS is trying... No, he won't have the cooldown on the Brain Sap. He's just going to back out. Dendy would try to kill him, but he hasn't got any mana. Brain's going to come, and Dendy hasn't even got the mana to blink, so Dendy might be in trouble.
Yeah,
he's going to get slowed. There's going to be Rage. Oh, but he's going to get picked up. That Rage was way too late. Brain making a little bit of a misplay there.
So it is 10 to 12 in favor of Navi, but just looking at the gold, the tower gold definitely helping out Empire quite a bit. Experience advantage only slightly in favor of Navi, but considering how the experience is distributed, actually Vos is going to pick out that Orchid very, very soon, in about 17 minutes, 16 minutes even.
Yeah, they didn't touch him, so he did get it up. The only issue that I see coming out from Navi is the towers, because right now, they can take whatever towers they want.
Yeah, and the Necrobook level 2 will be finished very, very soon as Blurbrain going to dodge the dagger yet again. ars-art trying to find a proper place to place that Tombstone, just going to get a nice 2-man decay off. Soul ripping him up to full HP, denied by Puppy with the help of the Wolves as the Tombstone is going to get focused. Funnick, is he going to be under a bit too much pressure? Flesh Golem has been used just to protect the Tombstone, and that is going to drive Empire back, but if Empire want to go in after this Flesh Golem and Tombstone have worn off, that might be the opportunity to strike.
Yeah, they can even just send Blow Your Brain in to kill it. Like, he just sits on it and it dies in like 2 seconds. So, we're going to see... Oh, I think Puppy might go down, but no, he's going to ult away. Blow Your Brain will maybe be able to catch up to ars-art. Yes, he will. With the Sprout coming out, ars-art will chop his way out. Blow Your Brain is on the attack. Puppy's coming in from the side. No, it's just his Wolves. And Navi can't really engage onto Empire. Like, this RP is just too much. RP plus a full Coddle Blast means that Navi dies, and they have no way to stop that, really.
You know, Vos is just saying, alright, 4 men versus 5 men. I'll just happily try to take down this top tier 1 tower. Unfortunately, will be thwarted from doing so as Sprout does come in on Havos. Havos should be fine. Wrath of Nature not doing nearly enough damage as Havos will escape quite easily. And meanwhile, Empire just going to try to go for Roshan. Do Navi know they're going to use Wolves to scout it out as they are invisible. And looks like Navi do have an inkling what's going on. Here comes the blast, going to do a significant amount of damage, doing 3/4 HP to Puppey right off the bat. Dendi does have a DD rune, so now he's still looking for this engage. And meanwhile, Scale somehow managed to pick up a kill as he picks up a double kill on the back of that reverse. He had the blink dagger, didn't even notice Dendi getting its Phoenix Grip, and suddenly everything is going wrong for Navi just on the back of that dagger.
Yep, we were just waiting for that one big RP to come up from Scandal, and he gets 2 solo kills off of it, which is more than I thought. But either way, it really does show that Navi can't engage them at all. Scandal plus Blow Your Brain is going to control this entire map, just because nobody can engage into them. And if you add Godblack into the mix, it's even more. And if you add Fiend's Grip onto Dendi, and if you even add the Prophet map control just TPing around, like, I think Navi just got outdrafted.
And if you had a Necrobook?
Yeah, and if you had the Necro book.
And if you had...
It's more arithmetic I don't want to do. But yeah, point is, Empire's going to win every engage. They can just do whatever they want.
Havos still thwarted from taking that tier 1 tower, going back in. Will successfully take it out. No, it's in deny range, and here comes the dust. Havos will be skewered back. Won't even pick up the tier 1 tower. Super unfortunate. Actually miscalculated the damage on the ceiling arrows by just a bit. That tower armor, very, very deceptive, as Havos has essentially traded his life for free, as he does have the Orchid up, but still very far away from any sort of significant items after that. As Necrobook 3 has been finished, and here comes another engage coming very, very soon. ars-art trying to wrap around from the side. Phonic is going to be summoned in. ars-art trying to get in position, going to get the nice tombstone placed off onto Godblack. Nobody's going to focus it for quite a bit. Unless the Necrobook 3 is summoned, it is in the picture. Why doesn't he summon it? As Valorant is going to force retreat. Looks like Empire just saying, alright, we'll just wait for the tombstone to cool down before we go back into the engagement. As the blind, or the Illuminate, going to once again clear off a bunch of damage. And Voidbrain going to pick up an easy tombstone, so I guess that's why they didn't focus it. They just said, we'll just wait till tombstone's down, then we'll push in.
Yeah, it's no big deal, really. We're gonna see SS go for his phase drums build on Bane. When he has a Coddle on his team, he gets phase drums on that hero, and it's actually pretty funny. It's a little bit of a shout out to American Dad, I always feel like, because they build that on like every single hero. But yeah, mobility's just really good on Bane, and when he can push up like this, and he will be able to, look, he can just sleep Navi, and they can go on and kill him.
He's actually going to grip off Puppey. Here comes the Shockwave. Nice reverse blade by Scandal. Illuminate doing huge amounts of damage. Dendi trying to do whatever he can, but can't do enough. ars-art's going to die. Dendi and Clink's the only survivors. Clink's and Ivy in that fight, as now he's just crumbling to pieces, as they really can't defend.
Nope, this is going to be Rax. They can't stop it. Are there still the Necro minions? Yeah, there's still the Necro book, so this is going to be a Rax.
Yep. So I don't really see too much of a way for now to come back. I mean, if Clink's had really a bit more farm, but he was just pressured so hard, maybe if Quap had a bit more farm as well, they have an option to come back. Maybe if Empire makes some mistakes, there's always a chance of a comeback, but I feel like Empire is saying we don't want to get knocked out just yet, and Empire playing pretty solid for the most part.
Yeah, they played very solidly. Scandal completely made up for last game and basically just did work this game. Just got shit done.
Navi coming in. Summoned.
Puppey is ulting. He's got a medal on someone. Light of Heaven's taking a ton of damage. He will go down. Blow Your Brain picking up a killing spree. In the meantime, Mavosa's trying to deal damage. Blow Your Brain's going to take a lot of damage. He'll invest into a zombie. Scandal coming in. The dismember misses. We're going to see Coddle Blast coming through soon. It's going to deal a lot of damage, but in the meantime, Scandal will fall. Dendi and Puppey are so low. Phonic picks up a dominating streak. We're going to see Mila or SS pick up the last one, and that's 3 down from Navi for the price of Scandal. And Puppey is going to call GG. And I think Bone that this is going to be one of Puppey's experiments that he's going to chalk up to a failure.
Was it? I mean, it was the picks, obviously, but also.
It was the picks.
I mean, I feel like this just, you could, I don't know, the items too at the beginning of the game, the laning. I don't know. I just really want to see like it succeed again.
They had to lane at whack because of the picks. Like, because of the picks, the lanes didn't make any sense, and they had to pick weird items. Like Puppey had to pick up the sentry wards in the beginning, just because if they warded his jungle anyway, he knew he was going to have to rotate to there at some point because he was going to lose bot lane. So it was just, obviously the play was very good from Empire, but I don't think that Navi had a winnable scenario just because of the picks.
Man, I just want to see Lycan do well again.
Oh,
Is that too much to ask?
I don't, but I guess to each his own. So thanks for tuning in, guys. This was game 2 of the Defense 3, Empire and Navi, and we should be bringing you game 3 soon. So
Yep, enough said. We'll be back very, very soon. So thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.